Savelle, your cheerleader of dreams. I pray that as you invest in yourself today, you're captivated and you're catapulted to live your dreams. If you've never subscribed to this podcast, all you got to do is push the little red button right there to get consistent teaching, tools, and tips to help you live your dreams. Today, I want to talk to you about why your attitude is everything. Why your attitude is everything. It's amazing how two people can see the same situation from entirely different perspectives. Well, my point is, it's our attitude that affects everything. Somebody said, a bad attitude is like a flat tire. If you don't change it, you're never going anywhere. And that's exactly the truth. How we see our circumstances and how we respond to them affects the results in our lives. I've shared on several podcasts about the negative consequences of complaining and how complaining is literally a trap that will keep you stuck in the same place year after year after year. See, God does not respond to complaints. He responds to a grateful heart. But it's not easy, to maintain that attitude, and especially when disappointments happen, the tendency is to just sigh really big and out come the complaints. Well, if we really wanted to focus on how bad things are, we could magnify them to such a degree that it appears nothing is going great in our lives. But when we do, it prevents God from moving in our lives. In fact, I have a friend. This is really a wild story, but she flies a lot. Like every week pretty much. She's flying from New York to Los Angeles and all over the world, but a lot of times New York to LA. Well, she's a very busy businesswoman, and she said every time she books her flight, she always likes to get in a certain seat because she flies so much, she knows her perfect seat. So she booked her flight from New York to LA, which is a long flight, and she got her perfect seat. She's boarding the plane, as she always does, and all of a sudden she sees someone sitting in her seat. And they said, ma'am, would you mind trading seats with us so I can sit with my husband? And she said she was like, sure, I'd love to. But inside she was going, I planned ahead of time. That's my seat. I always sit in that seat. There's a reason I sit in that seat. She said, my legs are so long. I know this seat. It's always just where I like to be. Now that sounds bratty, but she's just being honest. She said that always book ahead of time so I get that seat. And then here's someone saying, would you trade with me? Which I've been that person who asked to trade. So anyway, she trades, and when she trades, it's in a horrible seat. She's in a window spot. She can't get out. Her legs are long, and she just said she wanted to complain. Well, then when they're taking the order for food, they ran out of what she had already ordered ahead of time. She ordered her food, and they said, I'm so sorry, we gave it to the people up front. And so she was like, wanting to sigh really big and just be so frustrated. And she said while she's sitting there, she got a hold of herself and thought, change your attitude. Stop being a brat. She said she wasn't a brat vocally, but on the inside, she was just huffing and puffing. Well, she changed her attitude and just said, you know what? I'm going to concentrate on what I have to be grateful for. She changed her attitude. The gentleman next to her actually said, you know what? If you want my meal, you can have it. Then they start carrying on this conversation. Turns out he's a very wealthy executive. Are you ready for this? By the end of the flight, he was so interested in her business that he is investing $10 million into her company. Not only that, after they landed, he set up appointments with his team. They've already met together, and he's investing even more in her projects. I told her, I said, do you understand what could have happened if if you had focused on how bad it is, gripe and complain? God could have shut a massive door that he was trying to set up for you. Like he was opening that door for her, and I'm so glad she seized it. She got control and opened that door. Now, I wish I could say that's happened to me. I just keep a good attitude and millions fall into my lap. That hasn't happened to me yet, but I've seen what God can do when I force myself to not complain and to keep a good attitude. It literally opens the door for him to move in our lives. My friend could have totally missed out on a massive miracle because of a bad attitude. What could we be missing out on? Because we want everybody to know we're mad. We want everybody to know we're upset, but God is saying it's just a test. Pass this, move on, because there's a blessing on the other side. So a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. The more gratitude you express, the more abundance you experience. And we can see from this, our attitude in different circumstances, it determines how much God can do in our lives. In fact, let me just point out This attitude is a decision. It's not based on a feeling. We have to decide to have a grateful attitude. But I'm telling you from experience, it will open doors in your life that nobody can shut. And all you have to do is read the story of Paul and Silas, how when they chose to be grateful, it caused chains to fall off of them when they were in prison, and it caused the doors to open up in their life that no man can shut. That's exactly what God will do in your life. Doors of opportunities, doors of blessings, doors of favor, doors to success that you have never had before. Winston Churchill said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. So I'm challenging you to practice this attitude of gratitude. It will change your circumstances. Well, let me just mention who our subscriber of the week is. Live Life Lovely. That's a cute name. Live Life Lovely. This is what she or he writes. Terri, I want to thank you for your platform of cheering us on in our dreams. Because of you, I have published a book that sat on my dresser for 6 years. This is amazing. You are a blessing to me. I pray that your message goes to the end of the earth. Again, thanks. Live Life Lovely. That is incredible. I am so proud of you, and I am continuing to cheer you on. You're making such progress. Well, back to our topic. The bottom line is, when you complain, you remain. And I have found that it is so easy for us to complain without even realizing we're doing it. So, to help you out, I have provided a free downloadable PDF that will help you consciously be grateful. I even have challenges in there for you to text like 3 people that you're thankful for and tell them why. And you know, it's been proven that you will feel better about yourself after texting them than they even will. So I truly believe gratitude will open doors in your life that no man can shut, which is why I want you to download this and apply it now. Just click the link in the description to download your gratitude challenge. And remember, for more consistent motivation, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all the handles. If you've never subscribed, just push that little button and I will continue to cheer you on to live your dreams. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Icing means something added to something good to make it